It's a new day, a new dawn, a new era for Formula One. This is the 2026 World Championship. New regulations, new cars, new fuels, new drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ride. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Piastri, Russell, Carlos Sainz, and Albon, Antonelli, Verstappen, Ocon, and Ollie Behrman, Colapinto, Lawson, Nico Hülkenberg, and Perez, Alonso, Stroll, Lando Norris, and Nicolas Soloff, Bottas, Dirksen, Hadja, Bortoletto, Gasly, and Arvid Lindblad rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Chris, and welcome to the first race of the F1 2026 season here at the Australian Grand Prix. And this is definitely going to be different, I'd have to say, because with these cars, there's a lot of things that I found out through the testing sessions that I ended up doing, and even the practice laps I did for the practice here, and even during qualifying, which was different from the rest of the weekend, obviously. But I'm going to have to really get used to how these cars are a lot more lighter than the previous generation of cars. And if I want to go back to F125, the base F125, I'm probably going to have to get used to how heavy those cars are versus how light these cars are. These cars kind of remind me a lot of the cars that we drove in the F1 games from 2015 to 2021 in a way. Like, that's how much I can, like, not like in the same driving style, obviously, but like how I'm able to like dance the car around a lot more and how I feel more comfortable with it too. So that in and of itself is like, oh, hey, that's a good thing. I like that. But before we jump into anything else, let's go on ahead and show you guys the first qualifying session of the season. And I'm going to let future me take it away. Future Chris, have at it. Well, thank you to past me for giving me the reins to go on ahead and show you guys the first qualifying session of the 2026 Formula One season, at least in our F1 universe, that is. And yeah, it's wet, rainy, and considering the fact that I haven't, raced at all in the rain period in these F1 cars, I was kind of curious how everything would kind of go. So I thought I'd, take a look at our teammate Joshua Dirksen and everything to see how his laps would turn out to be and what I can expect from my qualifying laps as well. But there was something interesting that I found out, and it's coming up here in a little bit when they enter the back straight. Just listen to Joshua Dirksen's engine for a minute, because this is what surprised me. That noise right there was Dirksen's engine clipping. Now, I didn't actually think that it was, just on Dirksen's car, so I had to look at Hamilton's car, and funnily enough, it happened to him too. The same can be said for Albon. And it also happened to Dipshit. So after figuring out and realizing that the engine clipping is more apparent, I'd say, in the qualifying version, or on not even the qualifying version, but the rain coming down and all that sort of stuff. Went on ahead and went out and gave myself enough time to where I was able to complete at the very least 2 laps, because I feel get 1 lap in as a banker lap, and also in the same, you know, tires, same go, we go the second time around, and on the straight, it happened to us. Now, what had happened actually right there with the battery was that it would deploy, then it would harvest, then it would deploy again, and then it wasn't until we got into the braking zone that it started harvesting again. So that is one of the reasons why the engine clipping, especially on that main straight, is more apparent when the rain is coming down and there's no boost, there's no overtake, there's no nothing. It's just straight hot lap. That's all it is, which, to be honest with you, the hot lap really didn't do much for us, as we weren't really gaining a whole lot of time. When we came back down the straight, it started doing the deploy and harvesting thing again. And to be honest with you, if you look at the delta, the time really hasn't changed, like, because it was happening at the same part. That just, there wasn't any time to gain, there wasn't any time to lose. And that was kind of the main problem, was that there really wasn't a way to gain time on that straightaway, because there's really no way to gain time on that straightaway because of the way the battery works when the rain is falling down in qualifying. But before we finished our, you know, second lap and everything, we were 21st, but as we deployed the straight line mode to open up our front wing, crossed our finish line, and we did get higher than 21st, but we just barely missed out on making it into Q2 by getting 18th. But what shocked me the most was to find out that Liam Lawson not only set the fastest lap of the first session, but that Fernando Alonso in that green tractor somehow got the second best qualifying lap in Q1. I know it's just Q1, but seeing Liam Lawson and Fernando Alonso up there with the, you know, 2 fastest times, I couldn't believe my very eyes. But it's also, like I said before, on our end at least, we just barely missed making it into Q2 by 400s on Franco Colapinto, and we barely eked out Valtteri Bottas to qualify 18th, and also Joshua Dirksen. Him out qualifying 4 drivers is actually really, really good, and I did not think that would actually happen, and funnily enough, it did. So that was a good indication of what to expect for rain races, but not for the Australian Grand Prix, which, speaking of which, let's go on ahead and send it back to Race Ready Me for the start of the race. Thank you, future me, for bringing it back to race version me. I don't know. But yeah, so qualifying, we got close to making it into Q2. Another thing I have to get used to seeing is 24 cars on the grid and 7 drivers now being knocked out in each round of qualifying. So that's going to be something to get used to, and I don't think it'll take me long. It won't take me long to get used to that. So I'll just know that qualifying P17 in Q1 gets you into Q2, and literally if you qualify in the top 10, that gets you into Q3 if you're in Q2. So that's literally the only major difference, I'd say. But take a look at the race strategy for today. So it seems like it's going to be only a 1-stopper. Our personalized is really, really good. After running some practice laps and stuff in the race strategy, I feel like that this car is going to be really, really good, and, you know, we're going to be able to do a lot more, I feel, around Albert Park. And if push comes to shove and we do need to make a second stop, we'll make a second stop. But I don't think that'll be too big of a deal. Then again, we'll be going from the hards onto the mediums, so I guess if the hards die out a lot quicker than I think, then a 2-stopper might be the best way to go about it, aka the literal alternate strategy. So that's really going to only be the main thing, I'd say, that might be the interesting bit about the strategy for today. So, right, seems to be all pretty straightforward and everything like that. So let's go on ahead and jump onto this race, and let's go on ahead and start the first race of the 2026 Formula 1 season here on the Chris Blaze 2414 channel. Finally, I know, after almost a month, rather almost 20 days since this DLC dropped, I'm finally doing my first race, but I got sick. That's my main reasoning. I got sick. I'm better now. Let's jump into this race. Let's have some fun, and let us see what we can do. Let's go. See, kind of like I had the feeling, got Lando up here starting on mediums along with Stroll, and there's probably a few others starting on mediums as well, but they might be doing either a one-stopper or a two-stopper. And I know a lot of us guys on hards are going to try to do a one-stopper, but like I said, if it comes down to it, and if it's like almost impossible to do a two-stopper, then we'll just do, or not a two-stopper, if it's impossible to do a one-stopper, we'll just jump onto the two. So I don't think it should be that big of a deal, but I think other than that though, we're just going to have some fun. We're just going to see how far up the field we can get, and see if we can do any form of magic today, which I'm thinking we will. Shitballs. I did not think that 3Y would work initially. About crap my pants when I saw Fernando stick it to the inside of us. Try to go run the outside of Hulkenberg. I know we were harvesting there, but it should be, we're okay. Really, our main thing just gonna be seeing where we can save our energy and all that stuff.
Overtake mode active. Overtake active. You've got more power now with the hybrid system. Use boost on the next long straight to get past.
Oh, wow, I went deep into turn one. Holy fuck, okay, I got grass on both tires. That is an insane speed. Fucking hell. Oh my god, I gotta really brake if I'm gonna use boost for the corners. Like as I'm entering the corners, not use boost, you know, or overtake, I should say, going into the corners or anything.
So you've got overtake now, overtake enabled.
Holy shit. The closing rate was insane that last lap. Yeah, I'm not going to use any here. And then easy to pull away from the guys behind a little bit. Oh my, yeah. Oof. What I mean by, that's what I mean by I could dance the car a hell of a lot more.
Make sure you're lifting and coasting before corners, and consider not always going full throttle. Try combining lift and coast.
Oh my god, I'm so surprised we didn't make any contact right there, me and Perez. Like, I'm trying to fucking... another year of Mark, like, not shutting up when he needs to shut up, but, you know, whatever. There are times to talk and times not to talk, and he picks the worst times to talk to me. But as I was saying, I'm glad that me and Perez didn't make any contact when we went into that tight right-hander. Because that could have been bad. And I think the main goal is to just, like, stick behind these guys as much as we can. Go fast in certain corners. Lift off as much as we possibly can and stuff. Try not to use overtake too much, because engine clipping does happen. And we're saving battery right now, so that's what I'm totally fine with. Just trying not to use all my battery. I know this section right here is like the only section where we can like save a good amount for the main straight. Because this is like the only part of the track that doesn't have a bunch of fucking straights and shit. Look at that, already at 100% overtake. Now if we could use this, or if we could close in on Bearman ahead, this would work out beautifully for us if we could continue to do this. Ooh. Saw Lando on my outside and thought about blocking it. It's obvious that it probably wouldn't have worked as well as I would have liked for it to, but you know. He's got a quicker car too, so we're bound to be passed by the McLarens at certain points, so take that into consideration. I almost said take that for granted. Put that into consideration. Oh my fucking god, we have speed. Holy shit.
Okay, good work.
Why did it
Great
fucking
pass.
freeze right there? Why is it doing that? Stop. Hate it when the fucking freezing bullshit still happens. Kind of annoys me a little bit, not gonna lie. Use it a little bit on that straight. Just to keep it ahead of Lando. Found the grass. That's it. Found some grass. Went to go mow the lawn for a second. There's definitely some good, like, lifting coast areas, I must admit. Found them quite a lot when I was testing.
No tire concerns at the
mainly
moment,
around
just
Spain,
focus on the
but
driving.
not around here. I mean, no, I found some pretty good Lyco, as they call it, spots and shit, so. Try to get Bearman here. Use dump all my battery into passing him. Jesus Christ. And that is another spot. Hell yeah. I just now realized Colapinto, he's on sauce. What the fuck kind of strategy is he playing? We got some kind of strategy that requires him to make 2 pit stops, I must admit. These two are really fighting it out up here. Holy. We call Liam napping right there. My gosh.
Gap to your teammate behind, 8.9 seconds.
Yeah, I thought about making the pass on Franco there, but I was like, nah, just best if I back out of it and let him re-go after Ocon. Just see what he does.
Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off
Fucking hell, Colapinto.
Our tires, so try to get past.
I was looking at my battery and I didn't even pay attention to the fact that he just slowed up a shit ton through there. But at least that tells me that the AI are also lifting and coasting at certain points too, which is nice. This was unplanned. But it works. I don't know how the fuck I made that work, but I made that shit work. Oh my god. This is gonna be the first lap since really the opening lap that I won't have overtake. Yeah, there it went. I think just Franco's tires are what's gonna be the detriment to him.
Now. Keep it up.
Yeah, I made a double pass without even meaning to. We're flying. We're doing pretty good. Just gotta find some lift and coast points and use them without, you know, going too far over the line.
Okay, so remember, when you get within a second, you'll get access to extra power from the hybrid system in overtake mode.
You see, I like it a lot of the time, Mark, when you just don't talk to me. Is that me being a bit of a dick? Yes, but do I care? Not really. Look at the fucking gaining speed that Colapinto has on me. This is insane. There was also a yellow flag behind. I don't know who that was for. But it was behind us. Oh, it's the rookie, Arvid Lindblad. No.
Serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Not Arvid. Out of all people, why my boy? Why my boy? Did Franco? He did come into pit, okay. I was wondering that. I was like, did Franco just come into pit?
Okay, gap to
Yes,
the
he
car
did.
ahead. 4.1 seconds.
So he's putting on lap 8. So that's he's got a ways distance left to go. Roughly like 20, 22, 21-ish laps left in this race. So he is definitely making a two-stopper. I'm just going at my own pace.
Yellow flag.
How the fuck is that not at least a virtual safety car? He is so fucking close to the track. What the hell? Oh, okay, game. Okay. That is... He was so fucking close to the track where he DNF'd. That is insane. So yeah, we're actually able to pull out to...
You're increasing the gap on the car behind.
over a second over Liam and Lando, to where, well, both of them are, or rather, Liam was out of the 1 second range to get overtake mode. I like how they kept that, though. You know what? I do like how you can't just overuse overtake, and you have to. It kind of like acts like a DRS. Or not acts like a DRS, but it's in place of DRS, which I like. I like how the only way to get overtake is to be within a second. It's kind of like how if the only way to get DRS was to be within a second. That's it. And I don't know, I think I like that a lot because it pretty much forces the driver. If they want overtake, they got to be within a second, and they ain't gonna get it any other way. The boost kind of acts like it a little bit, but I don't know if overtake gives you like more power on the straights and shit. You best be within a second, I must say. That one just came into the pits.
Okay, Albon's in the pits.
Also not the biggest fan of Norris just gaining a bunch of time on me right there. And I gain it all right back in turn 1. But I'm also not deploying or anything, like, down this main straight, and I'm just lifting and coasting, too, so... It's another one of those tactics or whatever that I'm trying to use, too. Force all the guys on mediums to use up their stuff trying to catch me on a slower tire compared to them. Just see what they do. There it goes. I was like, when is it going to go into harvest? Right there. That's it. Man, these three, I'm getting closer to them. What the fuck? These three of Sainz, Verstappen, and Antonelli were fighting so much, I started catching them. Sainz came in, though, so I'm like, okay. It's a little bit of something there. But yeah, they were fighting so hard, I was actually slowly catching them. This is insane. So definitely a lot of these guys are going to be making one stop, or excuse me, 2 stops. My curiosity is how many of them are going to be making 1 stops along with us. Because I'm under the impression that the Williams of Albon and Sainz, they're not going to be able to make it on 1 more stop. But I think whoever does pit now on the mediums, they might be able to make it. Anywhere from now until I'd say maybe, I don't know, lap fucking... random number, 15, I don't know. It should be, I think they'd still be able to make it to the end, I think. Ooh, shit. Had that happen to me in the base F125 game. The back end just steps out a little too much under braking. Oh my god. I'm really wide right there. Fucking hell. I don't think Lando has overtake.
Okay, this is good. You're catching the car ahead.
Because when we hit the thing, he was not within a second of me. Because if he does have it, then I should have it on Kimmy, but I don't have it on Kimmy. Okay, now I missed my braking zone and locked up all my tires. My gosh. Damn, Kimmy just started harvesting right there. I started harvesting right there too. A little bit past him. I don't want to pass him right here though, I must admit. Just because I want to be able to savor more battery than I feel like I really need to, but whatever. Another a McLaren just hit pit road. I think that was Oscar that came in. Yeah, Oscar and Kimmy's teammate George Russell came in too.
Pit window, and you're going to be on mediums.
Alrighty, so at least we're coming closer and closer to our pit window. The guys that are on the mediums that just came in for hards, they'll be able to make it to the end. I know that. Because they're within that one stop window from mediums onto the hards to make it to the end. For us, though, might be maybe a little bit different. I'm not too sure. Damn, Lando was catching me. Kimmy really saved up a lot of battery right there. To the point where I couldn't even get him on the straightaway. Hot damn.
Boost mode is available now.
Thank you, Mark, for giving me useless information. And Lando got around me, which is... It was to be expected, but I held him off for a lot longer than I thought I could. Gives me a lot of hope for later on. Oh, there goes both Kimmy and Lando. Ooh, wow, I'm surprised I didn't hit the fucking wall. Ooh, that was a little terrifying.
Okay, gap ahead, 4.8 seconds.
But one thing to keep note of, George does have fresh hards. I am trying to get as much Lyco in as possible. Save as much battery as I can. To maybe try to keep up with George once he passes me. Because to be honest, George is probably going to be the only way I'm going to be able to maybe, if possible, jump his own teammate and jump Lando as well. So I'm not even going to use my overtake on the straight. I'll give it to him though. I'll give it to him. But I'm not using overtake. I'm not doing anything like that. Just going to continue to save, and bank on Russell to pull me a little bit, maybe. If I can stay within a second of him. Which right there did not look like I was going to stay within a second. Yep, there it goes. Dang it. My plan has been foiled. I wasn't able to stay within a second of George. He is fast as shit though, so it is to be expected.
24.8 seconds.
It's to be expected that George is going to be faster than me, and definitely staying close to him was going to be a lot more difficult than made it seem out to be. Made it seem it was going to be a little bit easier staying with him. No. At least we're coming in this time. Because I think the hards are slowly starting to go away on this car. Yeah. Rears are at 53 and 40%.
Remember, box this lap.
Definitely a good idea to come in.
Speed limit.
Definitely a good time to come in and pick because the rears are not liking me. Max Leclerc came in. Oh, shit. There we go. Made it into the pits. Don't think we're going to beat the Williams. That's okay. Bam. It'll be interesting to see where we do come out, though. I will say.
Okay, go, go, go.
There's Kimmy.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. That was our
okay,
last
so we're only down
no more
to...
scheduled pit stops.
Really?
Let's go.
Down to 11th? Only 11th. That ain't half bad. And we got out ahead of Colapinto, too, so... Must admit, that turned out a lot more better. Now we are on a faster tire, just like Max is. But I'm gonna say this, I feel like some of the guys that came in early, like the Williams, I didn't see the tire, the exact tire they were on, but something tells me they might need to make another pit stop. They just might have to make another stop. I don't know this for a fact, but a part of me thinks they might have to. Because we just purple sector 2 on our outlap. Oh, Hadjar just came in. I didn't even know that Hadjar hadn't come in yet, but I guess he did now. Hamilton also came in. Oh, there's Hamilton.
Okay,
He's
so
way
gap to
ahead.
the car ahead, 2.9 seconds.
I mean, who am I kidding? He's supposed to be way out there. Dirksen came in. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Josh.
In the pits. Joshua is in the pits.
We're holding on to the final point, baby. Let's go. Damn, we got a faster lap. Just not the fastest lap, but we got a faster lap time. Got 11 laps left. Catching Lando might be impossible. But anything else happens, which, like I said, I'm thinking there's going to be like some two stops going on. And I feel like the Williams, because of how early they pitted, they're going to be one of the main people that I think they're going to come in. I don't know. I just have this feeling that it's going to happen to them. Yep, I knew it. Albon came in. I had this like gut feeling that he was going to come in. Kind of had that feeling, and I was right. And he came in. What do you know? So next up is probably going to be Sainz, because I'm thinking Sainz is going to do the exact same thing. I don't know who else in front of us is going to do a two-stepper, but don't think a lot of people are going to attempt it. Because I know Williams was definitely the main candidate to come in at some point to fit on another set of tires.
Okay,
and there's the yellow behind. Interesting. Another yellow. Oh. I wonder who that's for. Is that for Franco? He just lost the spots to Ocon. He's dropping time. Yep, it is definitely for Franco. As it told us, yeah, but that is definitely Franco's race over. Yep, there it is. Franco Colapinto out of the session. And what do you know? I called it again. Carlos Sainz was the other driver.
Sainz is stopping now.
I knew Sainz would be the other one. Obviously, Lando put in the fastest lap of the race. Had that gut feeling that Sainz and Albon were going to pit, and I was right on both. Do I know anybody else that would pit that pitted early ahead of us? No. Those are like the only two that I knew would do it. Yeah, here's Franco up here. Again, not a safety car. They're on increased, by the way. Like the safety cars. Oh my god, I found the fucking grass. I haven't gone all the way out there in a minute. But yeah, once again, not a safety car, especially with where he parked it up and everything. That is insane. Damn, a 122 flat that lap. That is insane how fast we're getting. You know, I haven't done this in a while. I don't think I did this at all during the F125 my scene playthrough, but we'll do it here. Let's go on ahead and bring back a classic. Let's go on ahead and do a lap around Melbourne with Chris. Melbourne with Chris. Safe to say that we're running really, really well, and somehow, in some way, we're running down Kimi Antonelli, which I don't think should be feasible, but it is for some reason. I don't know why. We are. Albon is running us down, but it's only little by little. It's not like
okay, here's the gap that we're trading
huge, massive gains. I almost just
3.8 seconds.
smacked the fuck out of that inside wall. Jesus H. Christ. Wow, I came so close to that goddamn wall. Oof. Anywho, after telling my team I need a new pair of underwear and a clean pair of shorts too. Yeah, somehow running down Kimi. Not too sure how, and I don't really want to ask questions on how I'm doing it. I just know that somehow, in some way, I'm doing it. We are managing to save her some battery. Maybe not as much as I want to, but I definitely know it takes about like a lap to get to where I want. So maybe we'll get them, but I won't hold a candle to it. So maybe a P8 is all we can really get out of today, which I'm fine with. First race, first time figuring out these new regs and race trim and shit. Seems to be the only thing that really matters to me. Just figuring this shit out in race trim.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
How are my tires? They're decent, I will say. Maybe not as good as I would want them to be, but it's okay though. It's like this slow climb to Kimi right now. I'm like slowly catching him. I'm almost within a second of him too. Car snapped, fuck. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Gained a lot of it back though through there. Surprised that we're actually gaining time. I'm like really surprised. Oh yeah, Kimi was harvesting right there for a little bit.
Okay, so that's boost mode available if you need it.
Thank you for telling me useless information again, Mark. It's just never fucking learns, I swear to God. Stop telling me useless shit I don't need to fucking know. Like, yeah, I have boost mode. I've had it for the entire race. Since the opening lap, dude. Jesus. Anywho, we're coming to the final lap.
Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
Which, I mean, I'll let him get away for now, but I'm just gonna... The reason why is because I'm just gonna save. Save, save, save. Wow. Got crass on both sides of my tires. Holy shit. Oh, I got him. I tapped him in the butt. Oh, fuck. Ah, and I ran out of battery. Fuck. I ran out of battery at the worst time. George Russell wins the Australian Grand Prix. Ah, damn it. If I didn't run out of battery on that backstretch, I probably would have had him. Or the last straight, second to last straight. P8 though, I'll take it.
Okay,
not a bad first race.
And bring it home.
Just wonder what would have happened if I didn't use all my battery on that main straight. But that was like my only chance of getting close to him too, so... Fuck. It's okay though. I'll take a P8.
we've seen
it's a good way to start the season.
The Russell hustle. It's George Russell who wins.
To take the win at the first race of the season, now that is important. You get straight in to your competitor's head and they now know that you are the one to beat.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell.
Well, after a pretty eventful Australian Grand Prix from P8 to P18 to P8 is actually really good, and almost got Kimmy there, just ran out of battery, but hey, I had a lot of fun. Like, I genuinely had quite a bit of fun. I know I'm not still at 100% and all that stuff, but definitely driving made me feel better, maybe feel a lot more better, considering, you know, over the time that this DLC has been out, I've seen a lot of content creators already complete their first season, and yeah, it hurts a little bit because, you know, I want to be able to do the same thing. And if you get when you get sick, you can't really do anything about it, and it sucks. It's like, so being able to play this DLC and just run every lap, have the time of my life, and in the end have a fantastic finish for the team and get some points on the board for us, courtesy of Nikola Solov, which this is kind of a re-roll, it feels like, of last season. Yeah, I feel a lot more better. I genuinely feel a hell of a lot more better now that this is the direction that we ended up going, which I will take. I will gladly take. But congratulations to George Russell on the win. Oscar Piastri, the man from Australia, gets the podium in his home race. And congratulations to Charles Leclerc on the P3. I didn't even realize, but yeah, Leclerc and Hamilton, they like did not have the pace to keep up with either George or Oscar, and they both just both weren't there, unfortunately. But not really much you could do in that situation for them. Max Verstappen P5, that's actually good for once. Lando from 17th to 6th, Kimi Antonelli in 7th, ourselves as Solov in P8, Albon in 9th, and then Carlos Sainz in 10th. So pretty much the point standings are going to be where you finish in the first race, which I'm not even going to bother looking at the point standings or anything like that. So we'll just go through the rest. Isaac Hadjar in 11th, Gasly 12th, Ocon 13th, Hulkenberg 14th, Lawson 15th, Behrman 16th, Bottas 17th, Perez 18th, Alonso in 19th, Dirksen 20th. So he actually got to beat 4 drivers. And Bortoletto 21st, Stroll 22nd, Colapinto, actually, well, he beat 2 on track, 2 of them DNF'd, but Colapinto and Arvid Lindblad are the only 2 that DNF'd, finishing 23rd and 24th. So only 2 DNFs. Arvid didn't even make it to the first pit stop, which is heartbreaking, to say the least. But yeah, it's actually a really good points day for a lot of teams. Obviously, like I said, the driver standings is, you know, this is where you finish today, but constructor standings is another thing that I wanted to look at. So 6 out of the 12 teams, so half the teams competing this season have already scored points, including ourselves, Pepsi, Racing, Audi. And then but Mercedes 4 ahead of Ferrari, 5 ahead of McLaren, 21 ahead of Red Bull, which I'm thinking the top 4 is just going to be these 4 again this season. And our battle is going to be from pretty much Williams on down to Aston Martin, even though Aston Martin's in a fucking green tractor, so take that with a grain of salt, if you will. But you got Williams sitting in 6th, and then so far, well, I mean, first race, but Alpine, Haas, the Audi Works team, VCarb, Cadillac, and Aston Martin don't have any points. But there are 23 races and some sprints left in the season, so there's enough time for them to score points. So that'll be the interesting bit, which I think a lot of us are going to be really looking forward to now that I think about it. But yeah, really good race today, strong showing, and I'm happy with today. I feel really happy with today's result. Alrighty, well, we got our finances and everything, so no damages between either cars. Again, getting used to the yellow is going to be it's gonna definitely take some time to get used to the yellow, because it also kind of, our yellow, or the yellow for us, reminds me a lot of Renault, funnily enough. So, and what's funny is like this whole yellow shtick being added to the fucking team colors was because of a bit that I did in F122 where we raced the Renault engines. So yeah, that's that's the funny part. So it's just like Renault somehow in some way still lives on, funnily enough, which they weren't the best engines towards the end of their time in Formula One, but their colors live on within our team, I guess. So yeah, no damages, no nothing. And fan rating, wow, that shit goes up. No sentiment though, which is fine. Let's see, do we have any messages? Still early days with the news team on the grid. Can't wait to see what they bring to the table. You know what? I'm fine with that. So I just want to forewarning everybody, or not forewarning, but just let everybody know. The finances and fan rating and sentiment stuff, I have made the decision that I'm probably not going to show this a whole lot. But if I get like, you know, fan rating up and stuff like that, or if like, say we're in a rivalry and that's a part of this, which I still have to be part of a fucking rivalry in this game, we'll be able to see it through here as well. So that's the only times rather that I'm really going to show it. Other than that though, pretty much this entire bit is, this is the last time we're seeing this today. If it's back in for China, something probably happened, or who knows, right? But I thought I'd just let everybody know before I forget that bit, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be cutting, which obviously in the beginning when they were doing the, you know, after the grid and everything like that, and how it cut away to just, you know, us and stuff like that, that's one of a few things that are being cut away essentially. So hopefully y'all are fine with that, and we'll move on to the next thing, whatever that might be. I mean, it's after this, so back to the shop. Yes, the research for the air filter got completed this time. Let's go.
We have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
Everything fucking framey and shit. Alright, I guess I fixed it, whatever it was. Oh, we did get some stuff for engineering. What did we get? Deployment expansion for Aero, or development expansion for Aero. Hell yeah. You love to see it. It's one of the things that I was gonna focus on and everything like that. Did anything else come in? Okay, personnel did not come in. Corporate also didn't come in, so that's fine. So now we're gonna go on ahead and do development expansion for the chassis, because I want to be able to develop 2 upgrades at the same time for literally fucking everything. So chassis next, we'll do that one, and we will back out. I'm also gonna turn the music down because I cannot hear myself think, and I also don't want to give you guys I also don't want to make you guys deaf, so that's my main thing. But now we can develop 2 for aerodynamics. We have the 1 going off for chassis still, but now we can do air filters for the powertrain. Let's go ahead and do that. It'll come in right before Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. In this universe, we're actually going there because that war never existed, which it should have never existed in the fucking first place, but whatever. Yeah. Other than that though, develop the airflow filter that'll come in after Japan, which these next race, like every race, I'm just like, I'm looking forward to the next race. There's not one race this season that, funnily enough, I'm not looking forward to. Like, I'm looking forward to a lot of races, funnily enough. Oh my god, MGUK, you know, seeing MGUK bearings for a research upgrade is gonna take some time to get used to, but we'll get this. It'll come in after China, so we'll have that ready to go. And then we have enough for another development, which will do the gearbox and improve materials. So we'll do that. And that, I think, is about all I can really do. Because, yeah, I saw the front wing turning vanes coming in. I probably should have done another chassis upgrade now that I think about it. But It's okay, though. It is okay. I also wish that I could see, like, where we compare again to every team within aerodynamics, chassis, powertrain, and durability again. Because just seeing, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the fact that I can see my teammates, but I wish there was, like, or my drivers, I should say, but I wish there was a button, like, you press the Y button, and it pops up every team, and your team as well, to see where you stand with that, rather than having to go over to either in progress or some other place just to figure out, you know, what the hell you're doing. But yeah, even though we scored some, even though we're the third worst team essentially, we were still able to outscore Haas, V-Carp, Audi, Williams, one of the Red Bull cars, and almost beat one of the Mercedes cars, but I'd just be false sense of hope. Who knows at this point? Who knows? But that, I think, will do it. Messages, points on the board, hell yeah. And I don't think I have any owner training, so I think I gotta work up to that. But fan rating, hold on, where are we at? So yeah, we're at level 1. We haven't gone down, but we haven't gone up. Cadillac and Audis have gone down, funnily enough. And yeah, we'll get up there though. I believe we'll get up there. I think we will. I think we will. So let's go ahead and why did I go here? I meant to go to the fucking activities. Go to the activities and can't do anything besides do sponsor discovery. Why not? Do secondary sponsor discovery. Just to go out and find more sponsors and all the likes. So that'll be the interesting part to see what kind of sponsors we get, which I'm looking forward to. But next race is the Chinese Grand Prix for the first sprint race weekend, I think, of the season. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and there might be a livery change because I done goofed the livery, which I'll explain in the next episode, which should be hopefully released tomorrow. Hopefully. We'll see how that goes. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for some more. Next race is China, and that race should be a lot of fun. Because it's been fun previously, and I think it will be the same this time around as well. We'll see. We'll see how it all kind of goes. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day, everyone. Love you all so very much, and goodbye.